Sherry G. I'm back with some more Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I want to go back and revisit the sneak peeks that were dropped this past week. I already did some commentary on it, but I've been going back and revisiting that reel, and I have some more that I want to say. But before I do that, please keep in mind that all of the views expressed in this video, they're alleged, of opinion, mine, and those who choose to comment in the comment section down below, and it's all for entertainment purposes only. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button. You don't have to be a subscriber to hit the like button. It's just a matter of respect, and it helps to push the videos out there in the algorithms so that other people can also find it and find it easier, you know. So anyway, but hey, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I think I only need one more before I hit 1,500 subscribers, and that would be great. So I just need one more to hit 1,500. We can celebrate that today. Anyway, moving on. So like I mentioned, I already did some commentary around, you know, the sneak peek. But I want to go back to the time in the video where everyone was sitting together at the table and Letitia was standing at the head of the table giving a presentation. And she said to everyone, "I'd like us to come together as a collective." And that's about all we saw. Then we saw like the snapshots of everyone's face. Martell didn't look like he was all in it. He looked kind of aloof to me. Mel definitely looked like she wasn't having it. And Kimmy and Maurice, I don't know what to think about the look on their face. I'm like, okay, they didn't seem to be so excited either, actually. So anyway, I guess we'll find out more about what really happened or get a better feel, you know, when we actually see that piece played out in season 6. Because, you know, production can do some crazy things with editing and everything like that and make a thing look like a different thing. So we'll see. That's just what I've seen with my eyes as it stands right now. But anyway, I wanted to come back here because people are speculating that production is trying to get the comeback group to come back together, you know, and there are people just going back and forth about whether the comeback group is going to come back together and et cetera, et cetera. But in my strong opinion, I believe that that is a no, because Mel already dissolved that group. She dissolved it. I'm sorry, my puppy's barking in the background. She dissolved that group, and when asked if she would ever get back together with them again or work with them again, be friends with them again, when Carlos asked that question, she gave a resounding never. So that is not going to happen. It's one thing to have to be in the room with people because it's a show and production calls it. It's another thing to have to actually sit and work with people, because if they sit and work together as a comeback group, that's going to be beyond what we see on the screens. That's really going to feed more into life, and Mel's not trying to be a partner with anyone who alleges that she has a dark soul, for one. And for the other thing, I don't think Tisha really even wants to work with Mel. Honestly, I mean, maybe there's been a change, but I don't think so. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong, but I just don't feel that. And so what I think this particular piece is about is not the comeback group coming back together necessarily, but all of them being the lead castmates on the show, coming together as a collective to support Black's Business Expo. And I say that because if you look behind Letitia, she actually has a presentation going on the white screen, and it says Expo. So I think this is where she's presenting the whole idea to the group. And we know they all were in the room together during the expo. We saw Mel, she made an appearance, although she didn't have a booth set up. She wasn't on panel, but she made an appearance, and her brother Marcus was with her. And then she had to head out to her concert tour. So we saw that Martell was there. He was there. He had a microphone in his hand. He was doing, photo ops. He was there. We saw shots of Kimmy and Maurice on stage, on panel. So we know they were there. Everybody was there. Stormy was there. She had a big section set up, with all of her products and everything. And she was supposed to be doing like a Q&A section, I guess, on the panel or something like that too. But yeah, so I'm sure we'll be seeing that in the upcoming season. I mean, they were all there. So they all came to support the Black Business Expo. So I think it's more about that than anything else. And, I also believe it's one of these things like the show isn't scripted per se, but there are some scenes that are fed to them. So there's some things that they have to do because production tells them they have to do it. And there's some places they have to show up because production tells them they have to show up in order to get a paycheck. So that's the reason why Mel made sure she showed her face. Although she was going out to her concert tour, she made sure she showed up to support and let it be known that she was there. So I think that's all that is. Then there were people saying that, and I was one of those, that it looks like production is trying to set Tisha up as a boss. And man, the comments that I saw, they were just crazy. Most people do not see her in that light. And then there are those who do see her in their light, and there are some who think that she was a boss before she came to the show. And I'm wondering, what show were they watching? Because when this show first started, Letitia was a stay-at-home mom, and she was very distraught about it. She was feeling lost because she was with the children all the time. Her whole life revolved around the children. She didn't have much of any experience outside the home. So she pursued her degrees while working at home. She did it on the internet, and kudos to her for that. And then she pursued her real estate license, which she also got that. Kudos to her for that. And now we know she also has her brokerage license. Kudos to her for that. But no, Marceau was the one, allegedly, the only one working outside of the home, and he was allegedly doing construction. I believe he was like he was subcontracting. And what exactly he did as a subcontractor, I have no idea. But allegedly, that's what he was doing. And he was the only one working and supporting their family. She didn't need to work. So remember that whole conversation around them. And he also alluded to the fact that he didn't like working with her once she came on board and they started working together in their business. But there was a comment so that was one comment, and I'm like, where were you? Because that's not true, allegedly, based on what we've seen. It's not true, right? Second of all, someone commented that Tisha is a boss because she has these degrees, and I beg to differ. You can have 1,000 degrees, and that's all good, but it doesn't make you a boss. There's a lot more that comes into play, most importantly, experience. She doesn't, to me, have enough experience. And she may have gotten a contract that's $1 million contract. She may have gotten a contract that's a multi-million-dollar contract. But it's when you're able to turn that and do it over and over and over and over and over again, and you have an established blueprint for how to draw that business to you, how to pull people to you and make things happen. That's how these big companies become big companies, because they have an established blueprint, which they may have to change sometime depending on what's happening out in the world, what's happening out in whatever the geography is where they're located, what people are looking for, those type of things. Cost, location, all of those things. So she may have, because they're claiming allegedly that she brought that business up to a multi-million-dollar business. And kudos to her for doing that if that is true. Like, we don't want to take that away. But the jury is still out on that too. Because it's like, how long was it between seasons? And what we saw last season, it wasn't given all that. And now this season, anyway, so that's where I feel like we're still being bamboozled. And then I was thinking, and this has nothing to do with the sneak peek, but I was going back looking at some of my own videos that I posted. And then I saw the one where I had the picture of Scholt, and there was some land, and this is supposed to be at the hotel. But the one thing that kept standing out to me was a big old flagpole with a Scholt flag flying high. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never seen a construction site that they're building on someone else's property, and they had erected a flagpole and put their flag on it, the construction company. Now, maybe at their business, they may have a flag flying that says, here stands Scholt Industries. You know, this is our land, this is our building, this is where we work. At their own property, their own building. But this property belongs to someone else, and they had a flag flying there. And it's the weirdest thing. So as I'm riding around DFW, going to different construction sites, going into different new subdivisions, I did notice that there are flags flying in some of these subdivisions where, you know, there are builders building homes. But that's to indicate they own that land. The builders own that land. And the flags are flying to say, here we are, here's Highland Homes. Here we are, here's Grand Homes. Here we are, here's Drees Homes. Here we are, here's Coventry Homes. I mean, that's what the flags are flying for, because that particular builder, home builder, owns all of that land that they're going to divide into these lots and put houses on. And then once you purchase it, then, you know, that's your lot. And then when all of the lots are sold, they leave and the flag comes down. If there are any flags flying, it would be one that names the subdivision, like South Point, where I live. So I thought that was pretty weird. I don't know what you guys think about that. But yeah, the comeback group, we know that that's gone. I think we can safely say that without saying allegedly, because, you know, Mel said, hey, it is no more. But yeah, and yeah, Marceau, he is in my comments, so I know he'll probably see this. He commented on 2 videos so far. I don't know how to take him because, you know, he can be kind of sarcastic, but that's okay. I'm used to that. My husband can be sarcastic too, but I know how to play that game. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. If you haven't done so, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, y'all have a good day. I'll be back. Ciao.